So I accidentally saw this in 48 frames per second. Why? Peter Jackson's sort of epic new trilogy comes to an end. This trilogy is from a book that is much simpler than Lord of the Rings, and it should feel less epic than Lord of the Rings. It's just Peter Jackson clearly doesn't know how to make a simple story. He must stretch everything out into 3-hour-long, 3-movie epicness. I'm gonna put on a hat. I really liked the first 2 movies, but to be fair, this third movie is pretty much the climax of the book, and for me, that was the least interesting part. I was more interested in this road trip with hobbits and dwarves, where we meet spiders and man-bears and other things. This movie, for me, just felt like a 2.5-hour battle sequence. It's a very well done battle sequence, but this movie is the very definition of excess. I'm gonna change hats. The whole romance subplot just lacks any emotional punch. I mean, you can pretty much plot out what's going to happen, and the whole resolution just, for me, falls pretty flat. Why am I wearing this hat? But the big problem that really kept me from enjoying this movie was the fact that I watched it in 48 frames per second. I really have no idea why anyone thinks this is a good way to watch a movie. It just makes the live action parts look like a soap opera, and it makes the CGI look like video games. Now, this isn't a total loss. If you're a big fan of these characters or this source material, you'll probably enjoy this a fair amount. Like I said here, the action is really well filmed. Martin Freeman is on his game as Bilbo Baggins. I mean, he is giving 100% all the time. I love every minute that he's on screen. I just wish that there was more of him in this movie called The Hobbit. I'm a fan of this series, so I'll probably get the extended edition Blu-ray collector set dipped in chocolate. But this will probably be the one that I watch the least. I started out really loving this series. I think the first Hobbit movie was my favorite, but this finale, I'm just gonna have to give this a C. It's a D if you see it in 48 frames per second.